Okay, so as you can probably see, the greenhouse gas concentration is constantly increasing, but in the European Union, it's not that big, the part, and it's decreasing constantly. So now China and United States has the biggest share of greenhouse gases. But the interesting thing is the pandemic. And we are really looking forward to 2022, when we will have the data from the year 2020. And we expect that greenhouse gases will have decreased quite strongly. Here you can see the picture of NASA viewing the China district, one of the districts. And here is the politics of our main agreement, Paris Agreement, where you can see that we are heading to 2050, hoping to reach climate neutrality. And we will have to update our nationally determined contributions every 5 years. And here we come to the National Strategy for Climate Change Management Policy. Lithuania has already agreed on our main goal to reach climate neutrality until 2050 as a vision. And we are hoping to develop a low carbon, competitive and socially fair economy through sustainable financing and investment until then. And that's like a huge transformation to make, which is really challenging. And on the graph on your left, you see that climate change is a horizontal issue, and it covers many other sectors and SDG goals as well. And every sector has transport and agriculture, energy, industry, as well as environmental and natural systems. As of our strategy, we have short-term, indicative, midterm until 2040, and long-term goals and objectives. And until 2020, this is our last month that our old strategy is in process. It was adopted in 2012. We have interinstitutional action plan on the implementation of goals and objectives, with the measures for every objective. And we are also evaluating criteria for climate change mitigation and adaptation progress every year. What is our strategic goal? Is to make sure that the growth of the country's economy is much faster than the increase of greenhouse gas emission. And here is how we've reached that. It's the decoupling has been quite efficient. The greenhouse gases were reduced 58% in comparison with 1990, and GDP went 42% up. Now our reduction targets until 2020, we could grow our greenhouse gas emissions because of our low GDP criteria on average in the EU. But from the year 2021 until 2030, we have the negative target, -9. Here is our sectors. You can see how the emission differs in every sector, and our main contributor is energy sector, as well as big share of transport and agriculture. These are our biggest challenges reaching climate change goals. And there's also a big difference between EU emission trading system, which is mainly chemical industry, energy sector, heating, petroleum refining, and the non-ETS sector, which contains of 70% of greenhouse gases. And these sectors are all national governmental target, as reducing emission in transport, in agriculture, in residential areas, and in waste. And we are currently updating our strategy, hoping to adopt it until the end of 2020, and setting binding targets for every non-ETS sector. You can see them on the graph. It is quite challenging for industry and transport because they are increasing greenhouse gas emissions on 2016 and 2018. And until 2050, we are hoping to reduce greenhouse gases by 80% and cover 20% of emissions with LULUCF sector. Here is the challenge that is ahead of us. We have been increasing our target as allowed, and from the year 2020 we will have some difficulties with expenses accounted to 300 million that we will have to reduce greenhouse gases and implement the measures into every sector. And here you can see key policies and measures that are envisaged for the decade to come. And it is really important that our goals and objectives, as well as measures, are mainstreamed into other national policies as national reform program. So as my national progress program, national sustainable development strategy, sectoral policies and programs, and as my colleague has mentioned, NPP has horizontal indicators, and climate change is, greenhouse gases is one of the horizontal indicator included in it. So we are happy that climate change being one of sustainable development goals, it has been mainstreamed to national policies, and now we are hoping that it will be mainstreamed into sectoral policies efficiently. And here you can see some challenges that we have, means our finances, policies and measures to achieve the goals, to make consistent projections, and also national energy and climate plans efficiency. This is short about the mainstreaming of the goal. And as of, I was said I have to talk right now about the tool. So I just want to say that I noticed the lack of climate change criteria as greenhouse gas emissions distribution among countries, fertilizer use, cattle percentage, and also just to mention that air pollution is mistakenly, on my opinion, mistakenly assigned to climate change as an indicator. That's it from me. If you have any questions, just let me know.